we wanted to break that mold and say, instead we have to just, worry about competitive only, right? We are going to do our best for sure to be competitive and win. That is our goal. We want to go to Worlds, and I am confident we really have a shot, for one. And secondly, though, I want to do it the right way. I want to inspire others along the way and be good people and use all the influence that we have as an organization.
Guys, this is Ashley Kang of KORIZON Esports, and I'm joined by the lovely Tricia, the CEO of FlyQuest, as we head off to the second round of the LCS playoffs, and we're going to talk about some exciting stuff that FlyQuest's been doing. How are you?
I'm awesome. We just finished a 3-0 win against GG, so I'm really happy.
And you got some lovely guests joining us here today. I see the corner.
We have we have Kuri, so she'll go this way.
No, thanks for joining us, Kuri.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about her appearance fees after.
Okay,
we're good.
Okay, for now.
Yeah, just kidding.
All right. And you obviously look happy, and you must be happy for a lot of reasons, FlyQuest success in general. And as you mentioned, FlyQuest has also walked out of that 3-0 victory against Golden Glue. And just want to talk about how you felt watching the match and what do you think about the result?
I couldn't have been happier. I mean, honestly, first of all, we're in a situation we've never been before, right? Our pandemic situation. So it's totally understood that we, for example, are working from home. We have a mandatory remote system going on. But a selfish part of me would have loved to just cheer on the boys in person and like on stage and in the audience. So because I didn't have that, I was screaming at our TV and watching Twitch chat because I love Twitch chat. And no, I couldn't have been happier. I literally messaged a lot of the boys after directly on Discord and told Ignore like, hey, we clipped like so many Blitz clips, and like I'm a big fan. And yesterday he was streaming and he doesn't really stream. So I was in there watching his stream. Lucas was Smite King game 2. And not just game 2, but like he has literally won us a lot of games throughout this split in playoffs and just like regular. He's like always just so good. I can't say enough. It's just Smite King, and when he stole Dragon game 2, and then of course PoE popped off. Jason smurfed in game 2 and carried his weight, and Solo has been doing amazing. Like as I'm saying that, I can see all the plays in my head. But outside of the players, I mean, I just couldn't be happier. Like I was messaging our GM throughout the games, and Ryan, our president, and we'll talk about the ups and downs and just, we came in here really confident, and I really trust our team and the players and all of our staff. So we're really excited. I'm so happy, like we're interviewing after, after our 3-0.
And you just touched upon this, and I know this is a subject that goes across all the LCS teams, but everyone's been working from home. It's a bit of a tough situation. How have you personally been dealing with it, and how has FlyQuest as an organization been dealing with it, working remotely from one another when it's like a esports team? Communication is the key, of course.
Yeah, for sure. So luckily for me, I'll just talk about myself personally. I am super productive working from home and working remotely. So I used to be a European CRM consultant, which is like enterprise solutions. And so I'm just really used to like tunneling in and just working. And that's for myself, right? This is for my own personal work. That being said, I do miss like being able to see our staff in person because my productivity with the staff, or like being able to hype them up, right? And make sure that I'm leading and all that has taken, I don't want to say a toll, but like a different direction, right? We're having to do it differently. So we just had our flight plan, which is a monthly company meeting that I hold, and I tell them like all of our company goals. I let them know our initiatives, the campaigns that's going on, what is our marketing strategy. And we just had that last week. And we invite all of our players. So I let them know all of our plans for summer already and our summer campaign. So they know everything that's going on, to get buy-in from everyone and to get alignment and to get everyone excited. at the end of the day, if we're not all aligned and everyone doesn't believe in that vision, then it's not going to be the greatest it could be. So really happy that A, we always do that, and B, our whole staff and players are excited about our summer plans as well.
From this short amount of conversation we had so far, I can tell that you're extremely proud of the players and you're working very hard to initiate everyone to feel passionate about FlyQuest. And it has been a very successful split for FlyQuest so far because wind back a few months, LCS is kicking off, people are looking at the roster, doing the usual power rankings, and everyone's like, FlyQuest. It's going to be the usual split where Team Liquid is the first place, and we don't see this team as a playoffs. But, it's been a very successful split so far. So can you tell me more about the development the team has gone through? Did you see FlyQuest doing so well in the spring split?
Yes. So I think there's two parts, right? And I can best speak from our company vision because that's what I'm in charge of. As far as our company vision and building that foundation, getting alignment, building a solid culture, making sure that we're focused on having a strong leadership team and building a brand, like really building a brand. We essentially rebranded, in 2020. I couldn't be more proud. And I sincerely mean that. I don't know why I'm getting a little bit emotional. But no, I mean, I can't believe I'm getting a little emotional. But it's like I'm so proud of us because I think not only did we have a purpose and we know our why, right? We truly believe at FlyQuest that greatness already exists within everyone. Like that is at our core, and we want to help people like believe in that and find that in themselves, and that's something that I can personally speak to because that's just something I really believe in, and that's why I think I got hired. In some ways, I think that was a big reason why Ryan, our president, selected me. And to be able to have such an opportunity is already something I'm so grateful for. But like you mentioned, especially in this time, really hits home even more because like I'm so lucky to just have a job right now, and on top of that, I get to do something I truly believe in and get the resources behind it. So, us at FlyQuest, like our vision stands for everything we do. Like truly, that is our why, that is our purpose. And that's why we made it our tagline, right? Showcase greatness. And so that is our North Star, and that is kind of like, if you will, like a pyramid. Like that is at the top, right? And then underneath that layer is our initiative, and the initiative that we went for this year is our Go Green initiative, which hopefully you're familiar with. And that's something that's also really personal to me. So like at the core, I got into esports because I wanted to help people, and we did Go Green because it's nature. And I'm an Ikebana sensei, which is flower arrangements. It means like 2 flower arrangements. And I'm certified to teach, and I've been doing this for decades, like with my mom. And the whole purpose behind that too is to appreciate beauty, appreciate nature. And the hope is that when you do that and you create these arrangements, while you express gratitude, you create this arrangement that represents love for others. So when other people see it, they feel happy and they feel grateful as well. And so it like spreads beauty and happiness to others. And that inspiration of just like nature, of being strong and beautiful and graceful, and harmonious and persevering through anything. That is like what I'm kind of rambling here, but like that is what led us to have our Go Green initiative, if you will. It's just like we wanted to give homage to nature, and we also wanted to show people that we're striving to be like nature, right? We want to be a nice, wholesome group and have fun and be FlyQuest, but at the same time, we're really strong and we should be taken seriously. We're not just being the nice guys. We are nice guys who are going to win, and I think that's the key thing that wrapped everything up. And just personally, I care about the environment, and I think it's something that we all need to be just more conscious about. So we wanted to make sure that we're facilitating ways for everyone to care about the planet and invite them to join in our journey. I think I said a lot, Ashley. I'm just too excited right now. I'm sorry. I'm so excited because, again, for those of you who are like later, oh my God, Tricia's so excited because we just came off our 3-0 win and I'm ecstatic.
So you just touched upon the Go Green initiative, which has been pretty cool. And so for people who might be unfamiliar, FlyQuest has pledged to plant trees for every time the team gets a kill, when there is an ocean. Is it when you take an ocean drink?
Any team. So it's anytime FlyQuest gets a kill within one of our games, not just LCS, but also Academy. And then anytime any team takes the Drake, Ocean Drake in Academy or LCS, and then anytime we win, again, Academy or LCS, we plant 100 trees.
Because Ocean Drake is so pretty, right? Like the whole theme changes.
Exactly. And also we wanted to make sure that it invited everyone. We didn't just want it to be like about us and only our games. So we wanted to, again, facilitate ways for everyone to join in and save the planet. And so we thought like, okay, cool. How do we make this also really relevant to our gameplay and the things we really care about, right? What we do at the core. And so in order for all teams to join us, we made sure that it was relevant to all of LCS and Academy.
And I think you inspired other teams to take on similar initiative, because after that I saw Evil Geniuses, the evil guys who cut down the trees, do the whole book quest where they pledge to donate some books depending on the match results. So how many trees have you planted so far after the Go Green thing kicked off?
Yes. So as part of, just to wrap everything else really concise, our Go Green is our initiative for this year. And that was like my first active CEO and a privilege I got to do. And underneath our Go Green initiative, we have several campaigns that are going on, but the main one is Tree Quest. So as part of Tree Quest, that's planting trees. And Tree Quest, after our game today, is about 6,000 trees planted.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And some of that, just to shout out the teams that we've collaborated with, like you mentioned, Cloud9, Dignitas. Dignitas was actually the first team to reach out with us, so we did the first collaboration. They're like our brotherhood. Cloud9, love them, and we did a whole exchange, even on stage, where I made an Ikebana arrangement for our coach, head coach Curry, to give to Rupert, and then they gave us like their little cute cloud stuffed animal. And, they matched trees. And then we also kind of worked with EG, and, they did their version of True Quest or book. Yeah, True Quest doing book quest. And, we're hoping to work with other teams. They've reached out with us as well.
So you mentioned that, the Tree Quest is just a part of the big initiative that is Go Green. What are some of the other exciting projects that FlyQuest has been doing this split, or maybe even next year, perhaps?
Yes. So again, everything, just to talk about, I guess, branding a little bit at FlyQuest. So our vision at FlyQuest, which is to showcase greatness, will never change. Like, we at our core, our purpose and why we're here and what we believe in is, again, believing everyone that has greatness within them. And so we're always going to find ways to help that. And our initiatives, I think, will change every so often. It's just like whatever we're most passionate about that time. I personally just love nature and, and the environment. So we did Go Green. And within our initiative, I think we're going to be doing it for at least this year. And so we started off with a campaign called Tree Quest, which about planting trees. We will be continuing to do Save the Wild Turtles for one. And I think you'll like that, since you showed up in our Turtle Talks for Worlds. We'll also be doing, I actually can't share the name of it yet, but we'll be doing something for summer. We'll be changing the campaign, and it'll be evolving, if you will, from True Quest to something else. And this is the first time I've said that, so here you go. So I'll have to talk to you again when that happens. And another big thing is that we wanted to do a big event for Earth Day, which is coming up in April, like towards the end of the month. And we wanted to physically plant trees, invite the community, invite all the teams who wanted to collaborate with us for True Quest, and influencers and everything else. But, due to the circumstances, I think we're having to be a little bit flexible. And the good news is we found a way to still make it happen. So if you guys have noticed, I've been doing a ton of Animal Crossing stuff. So that's the hint there. We'll be having fun with that.
And when, FlyQuest first started doing the whole Go Green and TreeQuest, that was very exciting for me because this is a very interesting synergy because there is a very fixed idea on what esports looks like. We
Yes.
think about, people with headphones, like drinking maybe energy drinks. I'm not saying energy drink is bad, but that is like the fixed
Yeah.
idea of what, crushing.
Jerseys have to be a certain way too.
Yeah.
Just everything's already set, right, in the template. And to your point, that's exactly what I wanted to break. That is exactly what I wanted to break is that as a sports team, we can do so much more, right? As an esports organization, we don't only have to stand for competition. Competition is what we do, and that's at our core. But why we're here can have a purpose. And I think that can be so inspiring. And so at the end of the day, I always stress to all of our staff and our players is that we can really build a legacy in esports, right? When you look at the greatest people, I have a bias, so I'll just say it first. I'm born and raised in LA, so I love Kobe and the Lakers. But when I think of great athletes, it's not just what they do on the court, right? It is so much more. It is who they are as people. It is how they give back to the community. It is how they inspire us to be good and the best versions of ourselves. And that's what I want to stand for at the end of the day is, sure, of course we compete in League of Legends, right? That is, again, what we do. But why we're here is we want to share good. And so that's why we created the Go Green Initiative and TreeQuest and everything else we're doing is, like you said, we wanted to break that mold and say, who said we have to just, worry about competitive only, right? We're going to work, we are going to do our best for sure to be competitive and win. That is our goal. We want to go to Worlds, and I am confident we really have a shot, for one. And secondly, though, I want to do it the right way. I want to inspire others along the way and be good people and use all the influence that we have as an organization and the influence that our players have. They reach so many people. And again, just be a positive light within the space. So I guess, that has led us to just reshape everything. That's why we did. I'm wearing our jersey right now. It's hard to see probably, but this is our glitch jersey. And you can see it's floral right here.
Yeah.
And that was my idea to do floral design as well for our jersey for, I guess our Go Green Initiative, the white one, original one. And honestly, a lot of people were just hesitant, right? Even internally. I was like, why are we doing this? Like, esports jerseys don't usually look like that. Why are we doing floral? We'll be made fun of, or I don't know, like people might like meme us and all of that. And my whole thing was like, let's own it. Until this year, to be honest, like FlyQuest has never really owned our brand and owned our identity and owned our vision. And that's something we've had since 2018, at least. Like, Ryan and I, that's when I joined FlyQuest in 2018 in January. And we established our vision first. But the thing is, we kept it internal and we didn't really champion out our message externally. And so 2020 was when I got promoted to CEO and was like, let's own everything we do and let's share this with everyone and be proud. And so part of Go Green means we're going to represent floral and ikebana on our jerseys, right? And it doesn't matter if it's never been done before in esports or in traditional sports. Who cares? Who made the rules? It's not like we have to physically play, like in traditional sports where it needs to be breathable and all of these things you need to worry about, like sweat and etc. And so, yeah, I'm just so, I guess I'm tired of hearing like it needs to be this way or esports is this or that, because I think as long as you have really good intentions and you are really caring about your players, your staff, and you truly care about the community and you want to do positive things, how you do it and execute it is still up for grab, and I think that's something that all of us can be a little bit more creative.
And it's not only just up for grab, but I think this is a very positive influence, not just for FlyQuest organization itself as it, becomes more proactive about representing itself, but also for the wider esports community, if I can explore that, because esports, there has been some discussions about how esports is represented is too specific. We talked about this, but that
Yes.
might also prevent more diversity happening within esports about, hey, like, I want to go to the LCS, but I don't feel like I fit into the crowd because of some one or other ridiculous reason,
Yes.
maybe I don't feel gamer enough, or maybe, I know that female representation in the LCS crowd is really low, even though I don't have the statistics in front of me. So I believe that what FlyQuest is doing is also good for the future of the esports audience, as it opens up what the idea of what an esports look like. Is it something that you also had in mind as you try to push the boundaries of what FlyQuest is representing?
Yes. You took the words right out of my mouth. Again, for like the jersey itself, the design, I think internally we got pushback, but again, like I mentioned, it's really important for me to, I think as our leader, to make sure that I'm getting buy-in from our staff, right, and our players, and we truly believe in it. So it's, and then, so when I first shared, the floral and all of that, they were hesitant, but when I shared why, like what Go Green means, right, what our initiative means, and that we want to stand for the environment and invite people to do that, and that means we have to own it. So we're going to represent floral and ikebana right here, and it's going to be in our colors. If you saw our colors, it's mainly green, and green. If you just to talk about, I guess, the design process or the creative process. Admittedly, I Googled a lot of stuff because I have to learn. Yeah, there you go. And so I did research, and green stands for harmony, the environment, life, perseverance, all these things that we really want to embody, right? And so we wanted to, again, own our primary color in green and showcase that off and say that's what we stand for. And then we went with floral because I was like, I want to do floral. Like, it is beautiful, and we're not just doing it just because it's pretty, but a lot of thought was in there of how we can kind of shock people, right, with the floral design, but also let them know that it has real meaning in it, and that we are going to stand by what it means to us, and it's going to be on our official jerseys. It's going to be what we wear on stage. And I wanted to also make sure that it was soft and feminine. Because when I think of showcase greatness and like wholesome, previously our designs were a bit like edgy, and we used a lot of dark scheme, theme, if you will, and we really kind of flipped it on its head and made everything like light scheme, right, and like soft and match the wholesome brand we want to be, and like goodness. And I think that really resonates well with females too, and I'm not saying it's only females. There's a lot of our players love floral design. Just wanted to specify that. But we have seen a lot of female fans like wear our stuff and buy our stuff, and we wanted to create that space. And so we went to the next level and also created our women's merch last year. We rolled that out, and we came out strong with that too and owned that. So we did a crop top, sports bra, leggings. I've been in esports for a decade now, or over a decade, and I've never had those options before. And so the whole messaging behind that was to empower women, not by telling them like, hey, this is finally a female merch brand and this is what you have to wear, because that's not true. You can choose whatever you want. The whole messaging was, this is for more choices. If you're down for this and you wanted to wear this and you felt like, there was an opportunity for you, now we're creating that. But if you don't, that's fine too. I just wanted to kind of break out of that box of like the only merch that females have is unisex, for example, right? So what we want to do is just create more opportunities, more spaces, and ultimately give the choice to the community.
It's about welcoming the audience, because
Yes.
maybe like you can't really say that, hey, if you're a girl, you must like flowers, because that's
Exactly.
another like setting. But it's like, hey, like we have variety of options, so you are more welcome to try out different things. So, and people feel invited just about the fact that there are more options. Maybe that's like the approach that I'm possibly getting from what you're telling me.
Yes, exactly. That was actually the strong messaging, because initially my team kind of created the messaging for women's merch, and I threw it out. I was like, this is exactly not what this is about. I do not want to say like, this is finally here, or like women have this. No, that's not it at all. Because who are we to judge? we're just creating options that didn't already exist, and we're leaving it up to you guys. And I think that's true empowerment, because everyone's smart and you can make your own decisions. So we just wanted to empower that.
This is a completely curveball question that
Sure.
wasn't in my list of questions at all, but it came to me. So there are discussions about how much effort has to be put into esports being more inclusive to women. And some people might say, hey, people aren't watching esports simply because women aren't interested in video games. And I don't know whether that is true or not in this conversation where there is there is definitely an amazing woman in front of me who is a CEO of an esports organization and an esports interviewer. But what do you think about that recurring argument that there aren't enough female representation in esports because women aren't interested in video games? And what are some of the possible things that esports could do? Should we be looking to expand our audience?
So I think that's there's just a lot to there's a lot of different things to say about that, a lot of ways to answer. But I think I feel most confident and probably comfortable speaking from my perspective for this.
Yeah, sure.
Is, for me, the best way I think I can contribute is do the best damn job I can do. Like, again, you've been esports for a long time, myself as well, and I didn't have, if you call like mentors or people to really look up to, right? I had to just dive right in there and get it done. And I think some of that is just my personality. I also have two older brothers. One is like 14 years older, just so you understand the age gap. The other one's 10 years older. And so they've never treated me with any mercy, if you will. Like, they never let me, I played video games because of them, right? They never went easy on me because I was a little kid. They literally made me play on Nintendo when it was not plugged in, the controller, or they would switch it around and all these things. And I just had to learn the hard way. And so for me, I think because of my personality, I just like went in there. I realized that not everybody has that personality, right? And everyone works differently. So what I've been learning too is not just like what I need, because I can't think like everyone's like me and has the same experience, but understand that everyone needs something a little bit different sometimes. And so the best way that I've been approaching it, again, is just like, I just want to kick ass, and I don't want to be defined as a female CEO. I just want to be known as a CEO who's just doing a really good job. I'm not seeing any differences. I don't look at myself differently from Jack, for example. I just respect the hell out of Jack personally. I think he's so smart about League and just many other things why I respect him. But like, I don't see, Jack as my counterpart because he's a male CEO and I'm a female CEO. I just see myself as like working hard, putting my head down and going in and doing the best I can do in my own way. And that has also translated to, our strategy is very different than a lot of other teams. We're not just saying we're competitive first and, please take a look at our menu of our products. We compete in X many games, we have this. Our approach is really different. We say like, hey, this is what we stand for. We hope you like it, of course, but here's our vision, and that's showcase greatness. And our initiative is going to be Go Green. And the first thing we're going to do to share with everyone, sorry, by the way, I have delivery right now. I don't know if you hear that. The first thing we're going to be doing is a tree quest, and I've never changed at my core. Like at the end of the day, like, I got into esports specifically because I wanted to help others. Gaming has helped me immensely through like my dad's passing and that's why I streamed. And I used to use my streaming money, and this is like 6 years ago plus, by the way, but I used to use my streaming money to host Bear Cup tournaments, because my gamer ID is Megumi X Bear, so I called it Bear Cups. And I did over 60 of those, and I would use prize pools and send off gifts and send bear packs and use, again, streaming money. And we did like a whole Ikebana raise where we created over 200 Ikebana arrangements, or like the flower arrangements. Physically, we invited over 40 people showed up at a park in Arcadia, if you guys are in LA at all. And then we gave it right across, there's a hospital right across that park. And so like that is why I'm in esports. And so now it's just me being able to use FlyQuest as like a platform to be able to do more, right? We have more opportunities by working with a company. And I think, again, like my focus has just been focusing on what I know I'm good at and doing what I believe in. And I truly do think at the end of the day, that will bring us success, hopefully. And hopefully through that success, I will be able to inspire others. And it's not just women, it's everyone. And hopefully I will be someone that people can see, like, you don't have to break any barriers. I mean, you don't have to worry about barriers. Like, I'm breaking those barriers. You don't have to worry about where you came from, because everyone has a different story. And it's important to know, like, I didn't just become CEO of FlyQuest in a day.
Of course.
I went through many failures and mistakes, and that's okay. And so when people talk about women empowerment, specifically, it's a mix of, yes, I think we have to make sure that we're providing more resources. And that's why we did our women's merch, to just create those options for them and make sure it's available. But it's also important to hold everyone accountable and tell them to, go for it. And you have to work hard, and you're going to face obstacles no matter what group you identify with, and it's important to just do your best and keep going, because ultimately I think that's just life.
Okay, wow. Thank you so much for all the insights into not only FlyQuest, but for your own personal journey and your beliefs, because I think it was like extremely inspiring. And you mentioned that you do see FlyQuest going to Worlds or like an international tournament, because, okay, competitiveness aside, if FlyQuest goes to Worlds, that means that FlyQuest has even more international reach. And I feel like throughout this conversation, reach has been a very strong focal point. What do you personally want to be remembered? Who do you want to be remembered as by the community, by people in FlyQuest in a year's time, especially in that scenario if FlyQuest goes to Worlds?
That is a very good question. And this is why I love your work.
Thank you.
I truly do. I'm a fan.
Oh.
So personally, for me, like, what do I want to be remembered as, right? Speaking for myself. So I hope that if we go to Worlds and we have the success, I hope it really shows people, and I'm remembered as someone who, taking a little quote from Dumbledore, but it's not always, but it's about doing the right thing, right? Not the easy. And so it's important to show that you don't have to be savage or tear other people down in your success. And I think that can translate through our competitive games or just whatever you're competing. I think people tend to do that and compare each other, and competition can be ugly, but I think it's really important to show competition can be really hardcore competition. You can have rivals and you can want to win just as bad as anybody else, but you can do it with grace and you can do it with love and being positive. And that is what I want us to be remembered by. And I guess me spearheading Showcase Greatness and our Go Green initiative. Okay. Because that it kind of encompasses everything, right? Like, we can win, but we can do it with grace.
Okay, I'll be wishing FlyQuest an amazing split, an amazing year in grace. And and finally, because, it's a tough situation, as we just covered, everyone's working remotely, but despite that, FlyQuest has been doing well in the playoffs, just defeating Golden Guardians in 3-0. Do you have any message to your players as they head into the second round of the playoffs?
I mean, I really believe in them, and it's important to just state, like, everything we're trying to create at FlyQuest, like the vision, the brand, and the foundation, and making sure that they have a facility to work out of, our greenhouse, we named it. And all of those are just tools for them to be successful. Everything else that they've achieved for our players, and it's not just our players, it's our competitive staff, right? General manager, our coaches, and everything else. is due to their success. And so I think that's what I want to share is, or tell them, is they can do anything. I really believe in them. And I think all of us really believe that we can go to Worlds, and that is our goal. And it's on them. So it's on them to do their damnedest and best. And I know they will. I know that coaching staff and our GM is working really hard. And just know that like all of the staff, the business staff is always cheering for them. We're rooting we watch every single game. I watch pretty much every interview of our players as well. Just want to say we love you, and kick ass, go green, plant more trees.
Okay, I think it's a good note to end the interview. Thank you so much for time and words, and hope I see you again. Thank you, Tricia.
Yeah, thank you so much.